Hey, what's happening, YouTube? I'm back with another video. So, I haven't been posting a lot on this channel. The reason is I've been learning a lot of Python right now. So, hence, I distanced myself from the channel, but I didn't abandon it because I use it as a tool to showcase what I'm learning. I use it as a tool to also teach other people, but most importantly, I use it to showcase what I've been learning. So in Python, I've been learning a lot of things like data types, how they work, such like dictionary tuples, sets, how you can do them, like syntaxes in Python, everything that has to do with Python at a fundamental level. So now I'm gonna try to implement what I've been learning. So, what I've been learning is exceptions. So, this is when you have a code that works, that it has to interact with the user, but you don't know what the user will input. Maybe you want the user to enter a number, which is a integer in Python is referred to as an integer, and they enter something like a string. So a string is like, let's just put it as text for today's video. Let's just put it as they enter a text. It could be a phone. They could just literally type phone, right? So in that way, your code works, but your user entered something that you didn't ask. So now that's going to be a problem. So let me try to write some small code to show what I'm trying to do right now. So here we're going to have a variable. I can call it a number, and then this equals to, in Python they call it an assign. So number I'm assigning, so I'm gonna open my parentheses, and then I can say, because I want the user to actually have an input on this one, so I'm gonna put input, which is a keyword in Python, and I'm gonna put codes, and let's say your number enter your number, and then let's put a colon and space, which is required. Now let's convert this input into an integer. So I'm gonna type int and parentheses, the open one and the close one. So now let's try to run the code. So let's run the code and let's see what's gonna happen. So our code is executing. Here at the bottom you can see it says enter your number. So let me enter 50. So it worked, but let's take it further. So let's say, so now that we have our 50 here, that it works, so now let's actually try the exception method that I've been talking about. So let's try to cut this because it's now gonna be indented. So the colon represents a block of code. So now let's paste our, okay, it's the indentation is wrong on this one. So let's paste it here, and now print let's print number is number. This is gonna be quite confusing. Number is number. So let's put, actually, to clear the confusion, let's put our variable number with a lowercase, because Python is case sensitive, number into curly braces, and then let's format it. So now let's try the exception. So we're gonna say exception value error, our Visual Studio Code suggested. So what you have to know is that value error, it has to be capital V and capital E for error. So now let's put a colon for a block of code. Now we can say print, telling the user that their input it's not what we required. So let me say enter an integer. This is the correct spelling of integer. So now let's try to clear our terminal. Let's run the code again. So enter your number. So here is 50 and number is 50. So our code works, but let's try to run the code again and let's enter a word. So earlier I said phone, and then you can see that our exception is gonna tell the user that enter an integer. So this is how you avoid or you plan runtime errors. That's what they call them.